Hey, good morning everybody. It's Caitlin from Pared Down. I thought this morning that I would share with you my coffee creamer recipe. I wasn't a coffee drinker until I had kids. I was sort of the brunch latte type person. I didn't dislike coffee, I just never drank it. I was a tea drinker. And then my husband deployed for 9 months and I told him that my gift for Christmas that year had to be an espresso machine. And unfortunately, I'm hooked. So yeah, I used to obviously be like everybody else and I put cream in my coffee. But since giving up dairy, I have really struggled to love my coffee again. I make my own almond milk. I thought, okay, we'll just put sugar in it. Maybe I'll just make an espresso. There's been nothing that I have been able to make or put in my coffee that has made me enjoy it as much as I used to the point of where I thought, oh, I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. But I have a vegan coffee creamer recipe. I've seen similar recipes that use honey and have vanilla and have other twists on them. My recipe, I use maple syrup as the main sweetener. Anyways, let's just get into it and I'm going to show you my recipe. So I've had to sort of lower you and I'm squatting down here. Maybe you can see that I'm still in my pajamas. I get dressed to go out and do my errands, and then the first thing I do when I come home is put back on my comfies. And it's snowing here in Toronto, so I put my comfies back on. Don't judge. You all do it. Anyways, so yeah, I've got my ingredients here. I'm gonna use my Bum Bum Ma jar, except I'm gonna mix everything in a bigger container because I just find that's easier. So, coconut oil. You can find this in bulk. I bought it in glass because I hadn't found it in bulk yet here in Toronto. However, I since have. So when this is done, I'll be buying it in bulk. Maple syrup. This is it for the LeBlanc family until Sugar Shack time. And this just ain't gonna fly. So somebody actually sent me an email probably about a year ago about somewhere just north of Toronto where you can fill your home containers with maple syrup. I can't find that email for the life of me. So if anybody has any tips on bulk maple syrup in Toronto or the, area, please shoot me an email, write me a comment, let me know. Cinnamon and Dutch cocoa. So that's basically it. So I'm not really a recipe person, and most of the time it's fine. Things work out. Every now and then I will actually follow a recipe when I haven't made something for a while and I want to be sure I'm not missing anything, and usually I'm actually surprised by how much better it is when I follow the recipe. So, but you'd think I'd learn from that, but no. So anyways, Tara and I think both have struggled with this recipe because we were eyeballing it and we weren't, sort of following what we thought were the best measurements. But yeah, so here we go. I always start with the cocoa in the bottom. You can obviously, originally we were doing a lot less cocoa and more coconut oil, but I'm not a fan of how that ends up being, it ends up being very oily. Like one of those, what do you call it, a bullet coffee or whatever, but it's just not for me. And I like cocoa. So it's obviously unsweetened, so half a cup of cocoa. I put in a teaspoon of cinnamon. See, I was about to not measure. You know what, I know how much a teaspoon is. About a teaspoon of cinnamon. I just don't learn. Half a cup of maple syrup. Oh my God, here goes all my maple syrup. And I mix this all together. That's enough for one crepe. And once I get this sort of mixed, then I'll add my coconut oil. And it's a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Now, as mentioned, you can add vanilla. I've seen ones with pumpkin. But yeah, you can up the coconut oil. You can reduce the cocoa. I also found that this is something this time of year, this is awesome. In the summer, you have to keep it in the fridge because the coconut oil, well, it melts. and then it separates and it's just a hot mess. So in the summer, warmer months, or if you don't have air conditioning, whatever, you have to keep this in the fridge. You like see my chin. I should just draw a face on the bottom of my chin. Okay, and then coconut oil. Getting a new spoon. And I used to use equal portions of coconut oil to cocoa, and then I would just use a bit of maple syrup, but I really didn't like that. So I use a 1/4 cup. Got my old measuring cup, my one little plastic measuring cup that's still alive. It's good. I could put that on toast. Tara and I have also joked that we're never gonna lose the last 5 pounds of baby weight while we're consuming this, because it's kind of like 1 teaspoon for the mug, 1 teaspoon for my mouth. It's so friggin' good. I almost wish I never discovered it. Now I'm sharing it with you. Bringing you all down with me. Okay, so as you can see, it's got like a really thick consistency. It will harden up in the fridge. I don't put mine in the fridge this time of year. I'm gonna be totally honest and say I probably put about a tablespoon in my coffee. So, you know what? It's probably, I'm not sure how much fat and sugar that is. It probably works out to put a teaspoon of coconut oil and a teaspoon of maple syrup, and then I don't really think there's much going on in the Dutch cocoa. But you know what? I really try and watch my sugar intake for the rest of the day, and I need my coffee. I've decided I am not gonna try and tell myself I don't. I maybe at some point this whole, plant-based lifestyle will give me so much energy that I don't need my coffee. But for now, with a husband who works crazy hours and 2 little kids and a dog, and I need my coffee. I enjoy my coffee. I'm not willing to give up my coffee. And this, oh my God, makes my coffee enjoyable. Yum! So basically, grab your coffee, brew it up, throw this into, I put it in the bottom of the mug, and then I, pour my coffee on top, stirring it in right the way through, and it's frigging delicious. So I only made myself like a 3/4 cup because I've already had a coffee today. I normally have only one, unless it's been a rough day or rough night. So the creamer was already in there in the bottom, and yeah, as you can see, it's not oily on the top. It's just got a little bit of that crema. And yeah, by the way, I made the Oshi Glows chocolate chip cookies last night, and they are phenomenal. So yeah, you'd think it was like my birthday or something, but I'm gonna take my coffee, take my cookie, and go upstairs and get to work. And there she is. So peeps, you gotta try this out. It is so freaking good. Makes vegan coffee worthwhile.